Hello and welcome. I am Anula Singh, inviting you to a journey. Be with me.
Welcome to an exploration of the mind-body connection that few truly understand. We're talking about your brain's hidden master switch for pain. What if I told you that a single anxious thought about a minor symptom or a medication side effect can actually force your body to create real physical pain? This isn't just theory. Your mind's negative expectations have a direct, toxic effect on your biology, literally amplifying discomfort.
This is why even small discomforts can suddenly feel intense and overwhelming.
In medicine, this phenomenon is called the nocebo effect, the dark twin of the well-known placebo effect. It's when negative expectations act as a literal poison.
The human body is built with an incredible survival system. Whenever danger appears, the brain, gut, heart, and adrenal glands work together to protect us.
For decades, scientists thought the nocebo effect was just psychological, all in your head. But modern neuroscience has exposed the physical master switch behind it. The physical master switch is a peptide hormone called CCK, or cholecystokinin. It's the neurochemical link between your fear and your body's actual pain.
At the center of this system is a powerful chemical called CCK, cholecystokinin. It is produced in two places, the gut and the brain.
When you get anxious or expect pain, your brain floods your system with CCK. This peptide acts as a biological volume knob, turning up the intensity of pain and discomfort to the max.
But when we live in constant stress, fear, or anticipation of pain, something called the nocebo effect begins. During stress, the fear center of the brain, the amygdala, releases CCK into the PH region, and CCK, body's natural pain relief, begins to shut down.
When the heart redirects blood toward muscles for survival, less blood reaches the gut. The gut's nervous system becomes disturbed.
As stress increases, the adrenal glands release adrenaline and noradrenaline into the blood.
Soon after, the body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol makes the heart and blood vessels extremely sensitive to adrenaline. The heart beats faster and blood pressure rises.
These stress chemicals stimulate the vagus nerve, which sends an urgent signal back to the brain. The danger is not over yet.
Eventually, the body becomes stuck in a state called chronic high alert, a condition where the body never fully relaxes or returns to balance. Over time, the brain, gut, adrenal glands, and heart become trapped in a dangerous loop. The brain sends stress, and the heart stays in high alert mode.
Welcome to an exploration of one of the body's most fascinating and confusing molecules, cholecystokinin, or CCK. It has a dual identity that controls both our hunger and our fear. To understand why this chemical controls our perception of reality, we first have to look at its day job. In the medical world, CCK stands for cholecystokinin. This is where the story of this crucial molecule begins. The name literally comes from ancient Greek, chole meaning bile, cysto meaning bladder, and kinin meaning to move. It is designed to mobilize digestive power. For millions of years, CCK evolved as a pure survival hormone designed to manage nutrition. The moment you consume healthy fats or proteins, specialized cells in your small intestine detect their presence and prepare for action. These specialized cells in the duodenum, often called eye cells, flood your system with CCK, signaling the presence of energy. Its command is absolute. It travels to your gallbladder, causing it to contract and release bile to break down fats. Simultaneously, it signals your pancreas to deploy digestive enzymes to process proteins. But CCK does something else, something mechanical. It tells your stomach to slow down its emptying rate, keeping food there longer so your body can absorb every single nutrient. This digestive management isn't just local, it also signals the brain about the state of affairs in the gut. As it manages this digestive orchestra, CCK docks onto the receptors of the vagus nerve, the direct neural superhighway connecting your gut to your brain. As it fires up the vagus nerve, this pulse of light delivers a critical message to your hindbrain. The message is clear. We have found energy. The hunt is over. Stop eating. This is the biological trigger for deep satiety, the wonderful, peaceful feeling of being completely full and satisfied. But evolution did something incredibly strange, which reveals the molecule's dual identity. It took this exact same molecule, engineered to signal safety, nutrition, and satisfaction in the gut, and duplicated it inside the emotional command centers of the brain. Except up here, in the command center of our emotions, this molecule does the exact opposite of what it does in your gut.
The endorphin battleground. A look at how your own mind can physically amplify pain.
To understand how thoughts amplify physical agony, we have to look at the cellular battlefield inside your spinal cord. We are now zooming in on the synaptic cleft in the spinal cord's dorsal horn, the very gateway where pain signals ascend to the brain. Normally, when your body encounters injury or stress, your brain deploys its internal pharmacy to manage the incoming signals. This natural response involves a powerful group of molecules known as endorphins, nature's morphic shield against pain. The hypothalamus and pituitary gland flood your nervous system with these indigenous natural opioids whenever stress or injury occurs. These glowing blue spheres, the endorphins, seek out and perfectly lock into what are known as mu-opioid receptors, like a key into a lock. The moment they connect, they initiate a process that slows down the nerve's firing rate, blocking pain signals from traveling up to your brain. But anticipation, or fear, can trigger the nocebo effect, and that's when the brain releases its saboteur. This saboteur is a molecule called CCK. It is the chemical agent that actively works against your body's pain defenses. Aggressive, jagged crimson CCK molecules enter the synaptic space. But instead of just blocking, they introduce a dynamic chemical interference. CCK is a fierce physiological antagonist to your body's natural painkillers. It doesn't casually get in the way. It actively hijacks the intracellular signaling pathways. The CCK molecules bind to CCKA or CCKB receptors, which are strategically located right next to the critical opioid sites. This molecular crosstalk essentially short-circuits the endorphin receptors. It breaks their grip, rendering your natural pain relief completely useless. The soothing blue light completely vanishes. It is entirely overwritten by a fierce crackling red energy that signifies the neutralization of your pain defenses. With these chemical defenses neutralized, the gate is left wide open for pain signals. The pain signal is amplified, hitting your consciousness at full volume. You are not imagining the extra pain. The nerve fiber suddenly fires a massive, rapid sequence of electric sparks straight up toward the brain, illustrating the intense, unmitigated pain. Your brain has physically disarmed its own ability to soothe you, making the anticipated agony a genuine biological reality. But here is the good news. Because this is a physical, chemical loop, it means you can hijack it. You don't have to be a victim of your subconscious fears.
Rewiring the circuit, where we explore the incredible power of the mind-body connection.
Today, we're diving into the nocebo effect, the negative counterpart to the placebo effect, where expectation causes real harm. Our story begins in Turin, Italy, with neuroscientist Dr. Fabrizio Benedetti, a man determined to scientifically validate this phenomenon. For generations, the nocebo effect was dismissed as purely psychological. Skeptics called it all in your head, a trick of imagination, not biology. But Dr. Benedetti set out to find the definitive smoking gun. He aimed to prove that negative expectation doesn't just change your mood, it rewrites your chemical reality. His landmark series of clinical trials began with Phase 1, designed to clearly establish the nocebo effect in a controlled setting. The team first induced mild, controlled experimental pain in a group of healthy volunteers. Next, they prepared to inject them with a completely harmless, inactive saline solution. But they coupled this injection with a terrifying warning. This is a powerful chemical that is going to make your pain significantly worse. The psychological trigger worked perfectly. The expectation of pain induced acute anxiety, causing the pain index to violently spike upward. This anxiety commanded the brain to flood the spinal cord with CCK, which disarmed their natural endorphins. The volunteers experienced an intense, physical surge of agony. The nocebo effect was active, but Benedetti was just getting started. In Phase 2, Benedetti aimed for the definitive biochemical proof, the smoking gun that proved the physical mechanism behind the nocebo effect. He repeated the exact same experiment with a new group of volunteers, giving them the exact same frightening warning that their pain was about to increase. But this time, he secretly added a hidden medication called proglumide. Proglumide is a compound with a unique superpower. It is a CCK receptor antagonist. Proglumide acts like a physical shield, blocking the anxiety-driven CCK from binding to its receptors, effectively locking down the pain switch. What happened next shocked the medical community. The patients still believed the injection would hurt, their anxiety was sky high, but their pain did not increase. It completely flattened out. Because proglumide had physically locked the CCK switch, the brain's attempt to amplify the pain was completely neutralized. Their natural endorphins remained perfectly free to protect them. This was the ultimate scientific proof. The camera pulls out to show that while psychology plays a role, the mechanism is pure biochemistry. The nocebo effect isn't an imaginary phantom. It is a concrete chemical loop driven directly by CCK. And because this is a physical, hardwired circuit inside your body, it means something extraordinary. It means you can learn to control it. Our first scientifically proven protocol to disarm the nocebo effect is cognitive diffusion. This is about creating space between you and your painful thoughts. Cognitive diffusion teaches you not to argue with negative thoughts, but to simply observe them. You detach yourself from the anxiety, realizing that a thought is not a fact. The best way to practice this is to preface the negative thought with the phrase, "I am having the thought that." This simple linguistic trick immediately lowers the thought's power over you. Next, we have the most immediate biohack for stress, focused breathing. This is pure chemistry control. Deep, slow breathing instantly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the brake pedal for anxiety. This physiological shift directly counteracts the neural signals that trigger CCK release. A powerful, simple technique is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Our third protocol is about turning the tables on the nocebo effect by changing the underlying narrative, expectation reframing. Instead of focusing on all the possible negative outcomes of a treatment or a symptom, you deliberately seek out and focus on the positive possibilities. This isn't wishful thinking. This is actively harnessing the placebo effect. By building positive expectancy, you are creating a biochemical environment that supports healing and comfort, not fear. Finally, we focus on active relaxation. This involves engaging in specific activities that signal safety to your nervous system. Active relaxation means engaging in activities that are physically calming and prevent your nervous system from staying in a high-alert, CCK-releasing state. A proven tool is progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. By tensing and releasing muscle groups sequentially, you consciously release physical tension, which in turn reduces mental anxiety and CCK. By applying these 4 protocols, you gain direct control over the CCK master switch. You are no longer just reacting to symptoms. You are actively reclaiming your biology and disarming the nocebo effect for good.
When the mind begins to feel safe again, the heart slows, the gut returns to balance, and the body moves back toward homeostasis. Understanding is the beginning of healing.
Thank you for visiting my channel. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon button so that you don't miss my upcoming videos. Write a comment below on which subject you would like to see my videos on.